But yeah, we did have one of the biggest teams, and now I'm going to introduce them all. Amazingly, I think it really worked. We had an incredible time. Everyone just jumped in. Everyone had something really valuable to contribute. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. You're brilliant. So yeah, on the development side, we had Dave, we had Alistair, we had Mike doing all of the incredible technical work. We had Romain doing incredible motion graphics, and the beautiful Sabrina and Anam doing linguistics and language stuff. And then I looked at sort of creative bits and pieces. So, Mashifesto. Mashifesto is the profound intentions of our age as seen from the future. So the kind of core idea being that we're constantly putting out all this information onto Twitter, randomly, kind of trivially, if you like. But what would that look like 1,000 years in the future if archaeologists were looking back, trying to make sense of this age and what we were up to? And perhaps what if they mistakenly thought that our tweets were way more significant and way more profound than they really were? So we liked this idea, and we wanted to kind of look at, could we kind of segment and put together manifestos from these tweets? So taking incredibly random things, piecing them together and coming up with still a really random thing, but something that in the future people might look back on and suddenly turn into this great big manifesto and make it far more significant than it is. So if you guys want to hold up some of the posters. So we looked into the Italian futurists and the Russian constructivists. That was kind of our model for manifesto with an art movement. And this kind of is an example of some of those combinations that have started to come together. So Sabrina and Anam did some incredible work looking at the language structure, how we could really pose these randomized tweets to still sound like they were profound and there was something really significant to be listened to. And really what starts to come together is just beautiful. There's really quite comical and quite great, ridiculous combinations. So I don't know if you can read these, sorry, from the back. But
we have a few read
let's read some out. Yeah, do you want to...
Should we take one each? Should we do that?
Yeah, do you want to just read through them?
Go on, Sabrina.
I long for a day when you're allergic to nuts and I will have 3 friends visiting from France this week. This is Mike's, my personal favourite. Let us usher in an era of sky terror with the sound of foxes fucking.
Yeah. We should say who they are as well. The first one was...
The first one's Kevin.
And the second one, the favourite, was Michael Hobson's one. Okay, and this is, we must unite in the hot seat with collision recording, as there's a version of Dirty Dancing even I can enjoy. That's Bryce. And I see a day where I spent 45 minutes on the phone to HMRC, and I want a panda in the microwave. That's Joe. Believe it or not, that's Joe. And we must accept when you wish upon a beard that you deserve it. That's Ben. So that's just an example of some of the combinations and collisions. But obviously we wanted this to be an interactive experience for the visitors and the viewers coming into the gallery. So the idea being that you could in real time contribute your Twitter handle. And in fact, if you have a smartphone, please, can you tweet? Next slide. Let's find out what your Mashifesto is. So if you can tweet to this Twitter handle, in real time we can start to combine and collect those Mashifestos for you. So we wanted that to be an interactive experience in the gallery. People could come, contribute, and then get responded to by the work. We wanted to be able to project that, and if you flick over to Chrome. So we wanted to do something digitally, but we also had some plans about printing and really working in with the medium of those kind of the Italian futurists, the posters, that kind of ephemeral material as well. But Dave, do you want to talk about the technology?
Full screen. So we used Twitter data obviously for this project, and after sort of spending Friday and Saturday morning conceptualizing how this was going to look and what kind of manifestos we were looking for, Sabrina and Anam and I worked together to figure out the kind of syntactical structure of a combined mashed up tweet. And then we essentially had it set up that you can tweet at this account, it will watch for mentions, and if you mention Mashifesto, it will then go and pull in a bunch of your tweets and pass through them to try and find some statements that match with these sort of keyword components to each Mashifesto. So here, I believe and but are the sort of the framework, and in the next one that appears, we've got I believe that, and then it's augmentation rather than assimilation, surely, but when we are in the same time zone. And so it was then looking at what kind of snippets of tweets we'd want to combine with these sort of template statements to then merge together into this final Mashifesto. So I worked with Dave and Alistair to put this together, and yeah, please do tweet at this now, and your Mashifesto will be added to the pile that are constantly being looped around on the screen.
So just to finish off, we sort of we got to kind of the digital stage over the hackathon weekend, but we really did have some thoughts around it being exhibited and how that could actually work in a printed form as well. So if the PDF works out, we just love that thought of the propaganda, kind of that manifesto, so that the notion of having a really large roll-fed printer that would actually be in real time generating these propaganda messages in a gallery space. You could actually exhibit them down a wall like that. And yeah, so that's sort of the roll-fed kind of printer idea. But also we have stickers as well. I don't know who's got the stickers. But just the real ephemeral kind of nature again, it's that interplay between the profound and the absurd and the trivial.
They're mini versions of these.
So they're little mini versions of kind of the final designs. And yeah, I think, yeah, we're still polishing things up, polishing the algorithms to get them sounding even smoother and better, but I think there's a really lovely core of the idea. So.
Thanks, guys.